Hello and welcome back. My name is Liz and I'm the creator of Pen to Paper. In my last video, I discussed APA citations. If you haven't seen it yet, make sure to check it out. Today we're diving into an essential step in writing, the research process for your essay or paper. This is crucial because good research sets the foundation for a strong argument or informative piece. Before I continue, I want to add a quick disclaimer. Every student approaches research differently, and what works for one person may not work for another. The steps I'm sharing today have helped me, but feel free to adjust them to fit your own style. Let's talk about the research process. The research process is all about gathering information, evaluating sources, and organizing your findings. Let's break it down into manageable steps. The first step is to choose your topic. Start with a clear, specific topic that interests you. If you have options, pick one that resonates with you, as it will make the research more enjoyable. The second step is to conduct preliminary research. Conduct some initial research to get an overview of your topic. Using reliable sources is important, but you do not need to meticulously screen for scholarly sources yet. This will help you grasp a general understanding of what your topic is about. Step 3 is to develop your research questions. Think about what you want to know. Formulate specific questions that will guide your research. For example, if your topic is climate change, you might ask, what are the primary causes, or what impact does it have on biodiversity? Now please make note, the more specific you are when pursuing your research, the easier finding information will be. Instead of simply entering climate change in the search bar, ask specific questions like, what are the primary causes of climate change, which will lead you down a path of more specific answers and questions. For instance, your previous question may turn into, how does pollution from greenhouse gases induce climate change? Step 4. Find reliable sources. Look for credible sources that answer your questions. Use academic databases, library catalogs, and trustworthy websites. Keep an eye out for books, journal articles, and reputable news outlets, just to name a few. And then 5, evaluate your sources. Not all sources are created equal. Check for the author's credentials, the publication date, and the publisher's reputation. Ask yourself, is this source reliable? Is it relevant to my topic? Note, I will make a separate video on verifying sources and places to find scholarly sources in the future. Step number 6 is to take notes. Make sure to highlight key points, statistics, and quotes from an article. Now note where you found each piece of information so you don't lose it and can cite it later. Here I'm going to take notes on an article live to give an example of what type of information to look for to support your argument. It is important here to know what specific point you want to find evidence to support, because it will make reading the article and finding a specific article more easy. If you remember my essay about climate change from my informative essay video, that is what I'll be basing this analysis on today. I'll link the essay in the description below for reference. Alright, let's get into reading the article. This article is called Reducing Emissions to Lessen Climate Change Would Yield Dramatic Health Benefits by 2030. Since the topic is the health benefits of reducing carbon emissions, I'll be using whatever evidence I find in this article to support my body paragraph on the economic benefits of reducing carbon emissions. Now I'm going to start reading the article. So immediately the article hooks me when it says, new research shows that improved air quality caused by reducing emissions from burning fossil fuels and other sources would improve human health and prevent economic losses. That's according to projections by scientists at NASA, Duke University, and Columbia University. That tells me what type of evidence I'll find in this article and who the authorities are that found this evidence. Next we have, when burned, fossil fuels emit carbon dioxide that contributes to global warming. The World Health Organization projects that heat exposure caused by increased temperatures will be the largest health impact of climate change. Simultaneously, burning fossil fuels emit air pollutants such as sulfur and nitrogen oxides linked to premature death and respiratory illnesses, including asthma. One of these pollutants, nitrogen dioxide, in turn produces ozone pollution harmful for human health. So the article lays its foundation by talking about the specific pollutants and what respiratory diseases they cause. Now we're getting into the research findings. Here are the statistics. The research shows reducing global emissions over the next 50 years to meet the goal of the Paris Agreement to keep global warming under 2 degrees Celsius through the end of the century would prevent about 4.5 million premature deaths, 1.4 million hospitalizations and emergency room visits, 300 million lost workdays, 1.7 million incidences of dementia, and 440 million tons of crop losses in the United States. Roughly 2/3 of those benefits would be realized even if only the United States reduced emissions. Let's keep reading. What we found was that there was a real difference across time, that you have to spend a lot of money now to deal with climate change and transition your economy to renewable energy, and your cars to electric vehicles, electrify all appliances, all these kinds of things, Schindel said. That saves you money in the long run, but in the near term, it doesn't really give you benefits from reduced climate change that outweigh the cost, because climate is slow. It just doesn't respond that quickly. The effects of improved air quality, however, occur at a faster pace. Here, what stands out to me is that reducing carbon emissions will save money in the long run. Now I can use this to support my point that reducing carbon emissions will benefit the economy. I can use that statistic that 1.4 million hospitalizations and emergency room visits will be reduced to support the point that money will be saved on medical care. Then people will be healthy enough to go to work, which I can include the work statistic to support that we won't be missing 300 million days of work. And then I can continue with that clean energy will be a significant investment, but it will save money in the long run. Now I can use this information in many ways. I can separate it into different paragraphs and discuss each individual point, or I can synthesize it into one paragraph. I'll go more into including sources directly in your essays in a future video. Also note, every time you decide to include a piece of evidence or any outside information, paste the link somewhere you will remember. My trick is I highlight the in-text citation I made and comment the link on it. Depending on the class, you may lose points if you forget to cite something, or you could be accused of plagiarizing. Then step 7, organize your findings. Group your notes by themes or subtopics. This will help you see how your research fits together and what points you want to make in your essay. Refer to my paragraph structure video for a broken down way to organize evidence for your essay. Draft your thesis statement is step 8. Based on your research, write a clear thesis statement that reflects your main argument or focus. This statement will guide your writing. I previously made a video on thesis statements, so please refer to that video if you would like to learn more. And finally, step 9, cite your sources. Keep track of your sources as you go. Knowing how to cite them properly in your bibliography or works cited page is essential to avoid plagiarism. I also previously made a video on citations, so check that out as well. These steps will help you navigate the research process effectively, leading to a stronger essay or paper. In my next video, I'll discuss how to find and evaluate scholarly sources. I'm Liz, and this is Pen to Paper. Thank you for watching.